There's a few habits that are everywhere in diet culture, especially for moms 35 and older. And while they look healthy on the surface, they might actually be making your bloating, your inflammation, and your low energy worse. I know it's frustrating, especially when you're trying to do all of the right things, but I'm going to help you make sense of all of this. I'm Nikki. I'm a certified health coach and a mom of three, and I did all of these things, these healthy habits for years. And honestly, the day that I stopped doing them was the day that my body finally started to respond to all of the things that were good. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 super common habits that sound helpful, but could be keeping you stuck, bloated, and exhausted. And more importantly, I'm going to show you what to do instead. But before we dive in, I want you to grab my free guide, Break Free from Dieting, and it's going to show you the exact shifts that helped me and my clients reduce bloating, balance hormones, and finally feel good again. And I am going to walk you through all of these things right now, these 3 mistakes. So let's talk about the first one. Mistake number 1, skipping meals or eating way too little. Okay, this one gets a lot of us because we've been told that the key to feeling better in our bodies is to eat less calories, less food, maybe eat less often. But the truth is that eating less doesn't fix the bloating. In fact, for women in their 40s, it often makes it worse. So let's break down why. When you skip meals or you go too long without eating, especially after a busy morning of work or errands or chasing your kids, your cortisol levels are starting to spike. And cortisol is your stress hormone. And so when it stays elevated for too long, it's going to slow your digestion, it's going to trigger fluid retention, and it's going to tell your body we're stuck in survival mode. Hold on to everything. So instead of feeling lean or light, you end up feeling bloated and foggy and frustrated, even if you're eating fewer calories than ever before. So I can't tell you how many women and my friends that I talk to say things like, I barely had time to eat all day, but I am still feeling so gross and bloated. And that's your body that's stuck in that fight or flight system, and your digestion literally can't function well in that state. So what should you do instead? You want to start fueling your body with enough food and the right mix of macros so that when you break your fast throughout the day, you're having the right food. And this matters for so many reasons, because when your body gets steady, consistent fuel, especially that protein, like that anchor protein, it's going to send the signal to your body that things are stable and safe. Your cortisol level is going to start to come down. Your digestion is going to turn back on, and your metabolism is going to start to move again. And your body stops clinging onto every ounce of fluid, fat, and stress. So that's going to help you a lot. So instead of chasing less food, you want to focus on better balance. So getting 25 to 30 grams of protein paired with healthy fat and some carbs. You don't want to wait until you're starving to eat. And you want to choose meals that are going to help you feel stable and not restricted. That's why macros is the first pillar of my 3-part system. Because when you know your body is underfueled and underfed, it's not going to burn fat or reduce inflammation. It's going to protect itself. And that protection is often going to show up as bloating, as puffiness, as fatigue, and confusion. All right, mistake number 2, doing more cardio instead of building strength. This is something I see all of the time. Women in their 40s that are trying to burn off the bloat by spending more time on the treadmill or outside or squeezing in long workouts after everyone goes to sleep. Because cardio feels familiar, right? You sweat, you feel like you worked hard, you know it should work. But what most of us were never taught is that too much cardio, especially paired when you're underfueling and when you're stressed, and when we're moms or stress a lot, it can actually make bloating and inflammation worse. So let's go back and break it down a little bit. Because when you're doing a long bout of cardio, especially in a body that's already exhausted, your cortisol spikes again and again and again and again. And when your cortisol stays high, your body holds on to that belly fat and the water weight, and your digestion slows down and you burn through muscle instead of building it. And muscle is what's going to keep your metabolism active, right? It's also going to help keep your blood sugar stable and your digestion moving. So by doing more cardio and not building strength, your body is trying to run on fumes while fighting harder to protect what it still has. So what do you do instead? You shift your focus from burning calories to building strength. Specifically, 3 strategic strength workouts throughout the week, short intentional, and paired with the proper fuel. And here's why that really matters. Because muscle is metabolically active, so it's going to burn more energy at rest. It stabilizes your blood sugar, and it's going to support healthy hormone levels. Strength training actually helps reduce cortisol when it's done in the right context. So instead of sending your body into stress mode, you're going to signal, we're strong, we're safe, and honestly, that's going to change everything. And then muscle actually supports digestion. So it increases your insulin sensitivity, reduces inflammation, and literally helps your body process the food to eat more efficiently. And here's what I love most about all of this. You don't need to do it 6 days a week, and you don't need fancy equipment. You just need to show up consistently and do it with intention. That's why movement is the second pillar of my method, because it's not about doing more. It's about doing what actually works with your hormones, with your schedule, and with your life. So strength is how we build capacity, not just in your muscles, but also in your metabolism. Mistake number 3. Trusting the marketing on healthy packaged foods. Let's be honest, when you're a busy mom, convenience matters. You don't always have time to cook from scratch, and grabbing a protein bar or a flavored yogurt or veggie chips might feel like a win, right? But here's the problem. Most of those healthy foods that are supposed to help you stay on track, they're filled with gut disrupting, bloat triggering, hormone spiking ingredients that often make your body feel worse. And what's usually hiding in these foods are things like artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, erythritol, right? Those mess with your gut bacteria and your digestion, and it often is going to lead to more cravings and not less. Seed oils like canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, these oils are all highly inflammatory and show up in everything from granola bars to salad dressings. And natural flavors and additives. Look, these sound harmless, but often these are ultra-processed chemical blends that your body doesn't recognize as real food, and those can cause bloating and gas and fatigue. So what do? You don't need to go fully organic or spend hours prepping meals. You just need to get picky about what's in your food and start swapping one thing at a time. So here's what I recommend. You can pick clean protein, right? Just ingredients makes an incredibly clean protein made with real food. Or if you're looking for a protein bar, there are things like Scout Organic or RX bars that might be better options for you with fewer ingredients. You want to go for plain Greek yogurt and add your own fruit and honey and maybe some nuts instead of the artificially flavored kind. And look for oils, right? Always look and see if it's got vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, and try and skip it. Brands like Siete and Primal Kitchen and Boulder Canyon all make better options for you. Or listen, sometimes you can just make your own simple version at home. And this is where the strategy piece of my system comes in, because long-term change doesn't come from cutting everything out. It comes from knowing how to choose the foods that actually support your gut, your hormones, and your energy. Look, you still get to eat convenient food, right? You still get to enjoy your meals, but we're going to upgrade your ingredients so that you can relax and respond. Okay, let's take a breath here. Because if you're realizing, oh yeah, I've done all of these, don't worry, same. And so many of the women that I coach have done the same thing. And this is why you stop blaming your body and now you get to start understanding it. So I would love to know which one of these 3 habits has hit hardest for you. Going out all in on cardio or realizing that some of these healthy snacks might actually be making things worse. I want you to tell me in the comments, because I promise you, you're not alone. And your story might be the exact one someone else needs to hear to stop feeling ashamed and start feeling empowered. So let's quickly recap what we've talked about today. Here are 3 habits that might be keeping you stuck or inflamed, even if they look healthy. Skipping meals or undereating, because it spikes your cortisol, slows digestion, and leads to more bloating, not less. Doing long cardio instead of building strength, because that breaks down muscle, increases stress, and lowers metabolism. Or relying on packaged foods or diet foods, right? And often full of gut-disrupting oils and sweeteners and additives. Because the solution, it's not restricted, it's rebuilding. And through balanced macros, intentional movement, and a sustainable strategy that works with your body and not against it, you can do all of these things. So here's what I want you to take away from this. You're not failing, you're not bloated because you're not disciplined enough, and you're not tired or inflamed because you need to try harder. You've just been following this advice that's not going to work for you right now. And now you know better, right? And when you know better, that means you get to do better without guilt, without extremes, and without starting over every single Monday. So be sure to grab the free guide, Break Free from Dieting, below. It's going to walk you through these exact shifts that I coach women through when they're tired of feeling stuck and puffy and exhausted, and finally ready for something that actually works. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through my 3-part anti-bloat plan. It's the same system I use with my clients to calm inflammation, support digestion, and finally feel like yourself again. And I'll show you how to use the macros, movement, and strategy to work together in real life and how you can start using this now without overhauling your life. I'll see you there.